Strand came up with an idea, basically, of a drunken idea. Late at night, just kind of we wanted to go somewhere, but there was nowhere around that we really wanted to go to. We wanted to go somewhere different than what this town had to offer. So by 4 a.m. we came up with a good idea that is the Strand. It kind of took shape over the next 2 years before we really broke ground, but made a offer on the real estate the next morning, which they quickly accepted, and tore the building down about 10 months later once the licensing was all finished, and started planning through that course. And of course this place has changed so much from our original plan. Our original plan wasn't even to be a brewery. I don't know if I told you that, but we were just going to make it a nice bar restaurant, kind of craft beer themed, but we at the time thought it was cost prohibitive and just a lot to learn the brewing process. So we went through it with the attitude of, there's a lot of breweries around, do we need to be a brewery? But at the same time, I started going to breweries and kind of meeting the local community, and was, I guess, inspired by it and just wanted to be a part of it more. So we met so many great people in it, and as much help as we were getting, we kind of decided, there's people that are willing to help us to get this started and figuring this all out. So that's how it even became a brewery. So through the course of those talks, it went from a small 2,500 square foot, kind of nicer than what else is on this street, but still different, to the 8,000 square foot building that we're sitting in with over 60 employees now. So it was not a quick, let's just build the biggest place around. It's not what we were going for. It just kind of became that to get what we wanted, for sure. And then we ended up buying some of the property up there, and that's how this new beer garden started. And yeah, so a lot's changed since we started talking about this, but we knew we wanted to do something different than what's here, and I think we did that pretty well. There's not too much around like us.
Strand's been open for roughly a year now. They opened up in June of 2017 as a brewery and restaurant. They had some problems getting permitting for brewing, so the brewing wasn't able to happen until the beginning of 2018. So they brought me on in March. I kind of buttoned things up, put all the pieces together, and started making beer. So the first beers hit the taps in May of 2018. Really cool place here, great people to work for. They're super supportive, let me do my thing. I get to make whatever beer I feel like making. It's awesome to be able to step out here in a place like this, have the coffee break, just sit in front of the lake for a while.
Bloodline must be severed. The last remaining werewolf must be destroyed. I'm a victim of your carnivorous.
We found Dave by complete accident. I actually had spoken to a couple other brewers that I felt good about, and Dave, I had an ad out there on Pro Brewer, and Dave responded to it. And I do have to commend him on the first thing when we spoke on the phone. The first thing he said to me was that, I just want you to know, no matter how far we go through this conversation, I have another job that I'm going to. I'm going to be a brewer for a place open in Napanee. And so I'm not looking for a full-time thing, but I am looking for something now. And it was perfect for us because we hadn't started brewing yet. We still had a lot of work to do in our brewery and stuff that I couldn't do. So I really needed somebody that understood this process better than me. And the timeline worked perfect because he was available the next week. So I think he started then that next Monday, and about maybe 5 weeks later is when we actually started brewing, which at the time I thought we were maybe 2 weeks away from brewing. So obviously that was a learning curve in itself, but I would say that relationship's worked well for us. So yeah, thank you, Pro Brewer, for finding Dave for me.
I make beer because it's a perfect blend of aspects for how I want to spend my time. It's a really physical job, so I found that that's something I really like doing after spending a couple years doing work that isn't physical at all. It's also an opportunity to be creative in a way that I am capable of being creative. It can be very technical. There's a lot of science to brewing, depending on how much you want to put into it. Brewing can be very simple. It doesn't take much to make a beer, but if you want to make great beer, it takes a lot. So I really enjoy that side of it. It comes down to how I want to spend my time. We all have to work. We all have to make at least a little bit of money to cover the cost of being alive. I decided a few years ago that I wanted to spend that time doing something that I enjoyed doing. We spend so much time working. I felt like it needed to be something that I enjoyed. So a few years ago, I left graduate school where I was training to be a marriage and family therapist, got a job offer to be a professional brewer. So I left grad school almost immediately. So after 6 years of college, I easily made the decision to switch to professional brewing, and I've loved it ever since. I won't ever do anything else. That's not to say that this business doesn't come with frustrations. It can be a very tough industry to work in, but overall it's great. I won't do anything else. So am I supposed to look at me? Hold a mirror up for me.
What's you doing? Huh? What's you doing?
No. Stop it.
What's you doing?
Better stop looking at me like that. Stop it. My interviewer is trying to seduce me.
I'm not.
Right? Right?
We got a nice bowl, Brian. Got a real nice bowl. Boil nice and good. Real nice bowl. Boil, doing bubbles. Got that real nice bowl.
I think we're good.